Creepy encounter as told on Reddit. Someone's inside the mental hospital. During the fall, some friends and I grew quite bored of just sitting in our dorm rooms. Being the only one with a car on campus, I was usually the one the plans derived from. Not too far from campus was an old abandoned mental hospital that closed around the 1980s. I've been there before, and it was nothing really special. Your occasional slamming door and asbestos-filled rooms. On this particular night, we all decided to head back to the hospital to see if anything was left unexplored. In the car was my friend Michael, Alex, and my sister Haley. We were your typical rule breakers, thinking crawling under a metal fence labeled no trespassing was badass. When we arrived, we made sure to park far in the back parking lot and check the charge on our phones. As we were driving in, Michael pointed out a building that we have not been in yet. It was blockaded by a 12-foot fence, so that was probably why. For some reason, that night felt like a good night to be a little riskier. Making our way under a foot of a gap under the fence, we scanned the area for an entrance, finding one almost immediately. We continued on our adventure. The building was just like the rest. Low-hanging ceilings, damp rotting paperwork all over the ground. The only difference was that the way we entered was through the basement rather than the first floor. 45 minutes has passed, and everyone was starting to grow a little more confident, knowing that no danger lurked behind these metal doors. Coming up to the final floor, there was a small hallway with a door, which seemed to be slightly cracked open. We made our way to the enormous door and pushed it open, propping it with a chair. Michael was the first to ascend up the stairs. The rest of us followed closely behind. There was about 10 stairs, then a platform, a turn, then 10 more. But in the middle of the second set of stairs was a statue. This statue was very out of place and very unsettling to look at. It stood about 4 feet tall and held its hands in a praying manner. It was something that should not be in the attic of an old mental hospital. As we all shuffled by the silent statue, careful to not disturb it because there was an undertone of fear within us all. Reaching the top of the stairs was when the thought of leaving was agreed. There before us was 50 to 60 religious statues, all standing about 3 to 4 feet tall and in some way looking directly at us. Michael, being the bravest one of all of us, was the first to take a step into this uncharted territory, as far as we knew. As our iPhone flashlights followed his path, we noticed where he was heading. In the far left corner of the attic was a couch. On this couch was blankets, clothes, and water bottles. Around the couch on the floor were beer bottles, food wrappers, and something that definitely should not be there: children's clothes. Spotting a newspaper, Michael picked it up and read out the date out loud. November 23rd, 2015. Silence was among us. We all made adjustments to face the stairs and headed out of this place, for the date was December 2nd, 2015. Making our way once again past the praying man on the stairs, we headed for the propped open door. As we were about to leave, we were stopped in our tracks. The sound was coming from above us. At first I could not make it out, but then quickly noticed that it was the sound of someone walking. This person did not seem to be walking, but stomping with every stride. The sounds grew closer and stopped as soon as it hit the top of the second set of stairs. It almost seemed as though whomever the person was contemplating their next move. We didn't give them that time and booked it all the way to the basement where we came in. From the time I was in the attic, I did not notice anywhere that could be a place to hide. For the most part, everything was pretty visible and in the open. The creepiest part to me is that we were in that attic for 10 minutes. Makes you think that maybe the crazies are closer than we think.